Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to some more RDR2. This is Matt with you. So we are now back in the game. We finished off that last one by getting our poison arrow pamphlet to set up usage of our favorite weapon in the game. So now today we're just going to do some more house cleaning, trying to determine if we're going to do a mission or not. But said we would go find some Oleander Sage. So what I've done, just to kind of catch up, is just basically rode down from where we were, which is come up in this area, all the way down, actually, exactly right here where the hill house home, whatever it was called, Mysterious Hill Home, I believe. So just basically rode down to here, and I know it's going to be somewhere in this general area. Don't know exactly, so again, unless I could see the map, but that's part of what we're doing is going through so we can actually see the entire thing. And so we're going to just try to get to it. I did run into just one random encounter. A guy wanted to race me on his horse. And while I'm not opposed, I just didn't want to mess with it. First off, I want my horse to be a lot stronger bond with us. That way we can actually win that race. Because they aren't the most difficult thing, but you do need to have a good amount of stamina and all that in order to compete.
Good boy.
I did run across one other herb, actually several herbs, but one of them I just went ahead and picked because it's good. We've already discussed it. Oh, God.
Hey, enough out of you! Stay back from the wagon, sir. Transporting a fugitive.
Yeah, okay. We'll do that eventually. I just want to get to where we're going. But at any rate, I did find some creeping thyme. I went ahead and picked it up, so if we come across some, it will actually show, oh, creeping thyme, you know what it is, as opposed to the normal pick and examine herb until you've actually done it. You know, it won't identify it, so for any of the completionists, yeah, I did go ahead and grab it, because it was right there, and it's nice to have. But I'll try not to do that again. Let y'all see it, although that's not as big a deal. But creeping thyme is one of those that's all over the map, too. All sorts of different places, so it's not incredibly rare to come by. So while I'm kind of plotting in my head what we're going to do, I don't think we're going to... Again, I want to try to get to a mission, but there's a couple things I want to get done first. And again, the number one that y'all already know about is that Oleander Sage. So I'm just going to keep on tracking through here. And then, okay, one thing I do need to do is go ahead and slow right on down because we are now hot. I forgot. We are now getting to the point where we are in sunny weather. It is 80 degrees. It's pretty cool just how the map is just, again, so large that you have so many different conditions. It's really cool.
Good boy.
Our horse is a little hungry, so you know what? Let's go ahead and get him something to eat. Let's get him a carrot. Why not?
Okay,
you can
boy?
do that while running, so that's cool. You don't have to slow down to do that like some other things. And then, since we're also hungry, we're going to go ahead and eat something ourselves. Let's get something we got a couple of. There we go, some baked beans. And we'll just start right on the ground, why not? So, I think I'm on the right road. I'm at least in the area. You're going to find Oleander Sage. What I was saying, I was going to skip forward through a lot of this, but we're pretty much kind of right in the area where we need to be, so now we just got to find some. I know a couple spots where it is. Whoa, okay.
Okay there.
What? Just, okay. I forgot. My heart just started racing there. One thing about this horse, he don't like snakes. I've heard if you get one of the, like, strong breed, okay, and they're everywhere through here, as you can tell. If you get one of the, like, workhorses, that they aren't necessarily going to freak out as bad, but any fast horse you get, which is what we're always going to have, yeah, they're just going to freak every time. But at any rate, I was also saying I was going to skip forward and just get to where we need to be, but I've gone down the wrong track anyway, but we're already kind of where we need to be. So rather than go that route they're saying, we're going to actually cut through the swamp, and because we can go ahead and open up a little bit more map over here. We probably will when we have to come back down through here anyway, but yeah, no biggie. So now also, while we're here, one thing I am debating doing is they don't really have a whole lot of mods yet for RDR2 because it is still pretty new to the PC, but there are some trainers out there, and I am debating getting a trainer, one that will help me teleport around the map. I don't really want to use it in the interest of we need to try to get some random encounters. Sorry, I'm turning my mic down there a little bit, or my sound down, it's blaring me out. But when we're going down and going after specific things, and we have to go from maybe, let's say, here all the way heck up here. I may do that. I'm trying to determine if we're doing that or not. Just haven't made up my mind. I did download the trainer, but I haven't installed it or played with it yet. So um, the one I got was Lenny Simple Trainer. That seems to be the one that had the features I was looking with, which is basically, or looking for, which is basically just teleport via waypoint. Because some of them, it's like, one of them was called Blink.
Oh no, this ain't what we asked for at all. What is this, a joke? You trying to call crap? Fall phone out of you.
Enough of this. Both of you get your hands up. Now! Son of a bitch!
What the hell just happened here? I wish we could have saved somebody. Okay, well, we'll get back to what we were talking about in a minute. One thing to recognize here is, see how it says stranger in the bottom right? That was just a random guy. We obviously ran across a random encounter. These are the Lemoyne Raiders. So, a couple things just so we can explain. I'm trying to organize my thoughts here. If you show up to a scene like this and you've got gang members, you can try to save these guys. You generally know who the strangers are because they aren't aggressors at all. It's the other two guys. We can loot them. It's no problem. But if we do, we're going to get hit in honor. Which really isn't a big deal at this point in the game, but I'm not going to worry about it because whatever we get, we're probably not going to be able to carry it all anyway because we're full up on our satchel, most likely. But you can loot the enemies with no problem. You aren't going to lose honor on that. Now we got some passers-by. If they see that, they may actually tattle on us, and we got a problem. I'll kind of get into that another time. How the whole wanted system works and so forth. But let's not forget to get the chest. Serves them right. Alright. Ooh, we got a money clip. How much is in that? 12 bucks. Heck yeah. Now what is it we can't carry? Some repeater cartridges. I'm not worried about that because I want this pocket watch. If we can't carry that ammo, that's no big deal. And I can take the just regular revolver, so that's cool. And yes, I don't know why. I just always like to close the stuff that I open. So yeah, at any rate, if we see some bad guys, then yeah, you can loot those, no problem. But if we were to loot, I'll go ahead and loot one of them. Why not? You're gonna see it. It's gonna go ahead and say, "Oop, you're being bad, Arthur." Takes a second. It didn't that time. So I'm curious if maybe you get a couple freebies or something. Maybe we aren't far enough into the game because again, we're going to cut out a lot of the story mode, or not cut it out, we're always going to play it, but we're going to get a lot of these side things done, like the satchels and so forth, before we actually get to further in the story. And that's a good example, seeing Lemoyne Raiders. There's several gangs you can run into. We are nowhere part of the story near it where we should be running into those guys, but that's if you just stick to the area that we're in right now, which is up around Valentine at Horseshoe Overlook. Up there, we've already seen it. You got O'Driscoll's to worry about. You get further down here, you got Lemoyne Raiders, which makes sense because we are in the state of Lemoyne. Can't really see the L there, barely, because we haven't cleared that map out. But yeah, at any rate, so we're going to run across some gangs that if you just play the story mode, don't go out and roam a whole lot, you're just not going to run across them. But that's also one thing that's so awesome about the game and just the open world format. You can go out there and see all this if you really want. So at any rate, sorry, I'll shut up. I'm just going to try to get to an area where I know there's some Oleander Sage. And it's not here. You do find it in the swampy areas. That's why we came down here. And there's one particular road where I know you can get a pretty decent amount of it. A couple different roads, but one of them that's over in this area. That's why we're headed this way. Hey, we increased that bombing. That's good. I think I'm getting closer to being on that right track. Now, back to what I was saying, though, about the mod, the script I got. I went ahead and got Lenny's Simple Trainer. I'd seen something like called Blink, I think it was. Apparently that's one where you can, like, literally just move where Arthur can see. But I wanted something that if I am going to use it, and I think I am on the right track. Cool. If I am going to use a teleport, you know, like I was showing, we can teleport across the map. I don't want something that I can just, you know, move 20 yards. That's not going to do us any good because the only reason I would use it is in the interest of saving time. So instead of having to do these big crisscross long journeys across the map, we could just do that. And even then, I'd probably more or less do it only when I start the game, knowing that because again, I had to ride all the way down to where we are now, from up in this area. from the mysterious hill home all the way down here. And that just takes time. So I was thinking about if I do get it, I probably wouldn't use it while we play. It would just basically be, I left off here. I know I want to get over here. Let me just teleport real quick. But y'all let me know what you think. I mean, if that's something that y'all, as far as being completionists, don't want me to do, that is no problem.
There we go.
Excuse me. I know where Sage is. There's some behind us now, but I think there might be some over here. This is a cool little fishing and hunting spot, actually. So we're going to see some light up. So again, I know I'm playing this trying not to do spoilers with the story, but obviously, as you know, watching this, everything else, I don't mind, because I'm also looking at this as kind of tutorial. Not just are we having fun doing this, but there may be some people that want to do this on their own, and these are just a lot of good tips and tricks and things I've found. So you're going to find this everywhere. I think it's common bulrush. I forget some of the names, but this stuff just absolutely, yeah, we got it. So common bulrush. It's used to craft stuff for your horse. I think if you eat it, let me actually open up that compendium real quick and see. I think it can be poisonous to you. Yep, it's poisonous to humans, so it should never be consumed, though it can be used in crafting a horse ornament. And so that's true in real life, too, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know about the horse part, but it is toxic to humans. Where I come from, we just always call those cattails. Did I miss some? Because if you look, that big brown spot there at the top kind of looks like a cattail, so that's what we always called them. Probably pretty common for that to be called that everywhere, but that's what we did. And then up here is what we want. This is going to be some Oleander Sage. So you see it? It's that tall flower with real bright, bright pink flowers. Or tall plant with pink flowers. Oleander Sage. We'll go ahead and open up the compendium on that one so you can check it out. So Oleander Sage shrubs can be identified by the thin leaves and small 5-petal pink flowers. Popular herb can be seen growing near the riverbanks of Bayou, NWA. This shrub is considered to be one of the most poisonous plants in America and should never be consumed. The cardiac glycoside, hopefully I did that right, whatever poisons produced by this plant can be used to craft deadly weapons. So remember that recipe pamphlet? We knew that we needed 3 things: an arrow, flight feather, and then we also need some Oleander Sage. So we've got us a few. Now what's cool, because Oleander Sage is actually one of the rarer spices. Again, remember, I'm just going to call them spices because I did it when I first started playing and it stuck. So if you hear it, you can roast me. I don't care. That's what I like to call them. But I know that for sure is a flower. But you'll hear me interchangeably probably use spices, flowers, herbs, whatever. But it is one of the rarer in the game. It only grows in a very few specific spots. Again, in the swampy areas. And so whenever we see it, we take advantage of it. We got a few here. Now the cool thing is, with any herb, spice, flowers that grow in the game, if we were to try to come back here in a few days, it's not there. We picked it. However, it does eventually regenerate. I've never actually tried to take the time to figure out how long it takes for it to regenerate, but it does regenerate. So we do like to pick it when we see it. Now you're going to see here in just a little bit, when we go ahead and lay down for the night, that we will craft our poison arrows. And we can only carry 8 of them. 8 is the max. But what's cool with arrows is you can recover them.
Yeah.
So if we were to shoot an animal with it, we can then turn around and at least get our arrow back. Small game arrows are another one you can craft. That one I think is just like a shotgun shell and a flight feather and a arrow. That's it. So nothing complicated on that. But I lose those a lot. Evening.
Hey there, mister.
But the poison arrows, generally you're only shooting larger animals. It's pretty easy to get them back. So just trying to figure out where we want to bed down for the night, because it is getting close. I do like to try to bed down. Okay, we got something big. That's a black bear, isn't it? Let's see if we can't chase her down. And I'm not going to kill it, but I just want to study it. Not close enough yet. My horse is not liking me at all right now. Just trying to study it, bud. Also, you see the 2 stars down on the bottom right? There were actually 3, but only 2 of them were lit up. That's what shows us the good pelt. I never pointed that out. I've talked many a times about how there's poor, good, and perfect pelts. But that's how you tell. So if it's 1 star, poor, 2 star, good, 3 star, perfect, pretty easy. So At any rate, yeah, just want to go ahead and get that out the way. Go ahead and study him on up. But yeah, I don't always just bed down for the night, but it kind of depends where I am. We are going to come out here and experience it just so you can see it, but sleeping out in the swampy area or just being out at night can get a little creepy. It's just one of those fun Rockstar things, so I don't want to be cruising through. If we're ever in this area, I don't want to just be cruising through here late at night. I would rather find a spot and camp. So we're going to do it right here. Now, of course, it doesn't just set up right where you are. Obviously, we're not going to set up right in the middle of the trail, but it'll put us somewhere near it. So here we are. Also, if you're too close to civilization, it's not going to let you camp. It's just going to tell you, sorry, can't do that. So let's go ahead and see if we don't have anything to cook. I know we don't because I haven't gotten anything in there. We just got, but I did want to craft though, didn't I? Almost screwed up. We've got us some sage. Well, we do have some game. I forgot we had some from earlier, just when we did that mission with Hosea. It was locking you into only cooking what you had right there that you killed in the rabbit. But we're going to go to our ammo. And so we've already got some we can do. You can split point. That's just, it does actually improve. Let me see here. Trying to figure out the key binding because, again, my right stick is not working. But I'm not too worried about it. Actually, I do want to go back into crafting. There we go. But the split point just gives you a little bit better. I think it's just more damage, and all you need is your knife. So you can do that right out the gate. But we're going to go for some poison arrows. So as you see in the bottom left, we've got 18 arrows. We've got 6 of the sage, and we've got 5 flight feathers. So we can make 5 of these. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Go ahead and craft that bad boy on up. And these are pretty quick, but you do have to do them one by one. That even includes on the split point. So if you want to turn every bit of ammo you've got, all 100, 200, whatever it is you can store, well, then you're going to be doing that 200 times. So that's how that stuff can take a lot of time. So we're just going to go ahead and sleep till the morning. I like to, if I do bed down, I like to be up and going early in the morning. I don't want to necessarily sleep till noon unless we're just exhausted. Okay, now our horse is certainly dirty, so we're going to get him taken care of. Go ahead and tear down our camp. We're going to get to him in just a second. There is Yarrow. This is a pretty common spot for me to crash sometimes. Simply because, oh, perfect. We'll get back to that in a second. Remember how I was talking about the challenges? You just have to stumble across them. Well, we just opened our first challenge for the herbalist, and you have to collect 6 yarrow. Now, I've already collected 3. That's a max I can do, so you know what? We're just going to go ahead and eat some. Yarrow doesn't hurt you. I forget what it actually does for you. Stamina increased. So, cool. So, we eat another one. And then what it's going to do, watch the, so we already got all 6, but we're going to eat one more. If you take a look at the top left, because a lot of these herbs you can eat on the fly, it's going to tell you your body has grown used to the effect of this plant. Stop eating them for a day and you'll get the full benefit again. So basically, you only eat a couple. If you have a third, then it doesn't do you any good. No reason to. Let's go ahead and get him all cleaned up. Take a second to whip out that brush.
Yeah, I'll stay there, boy.
Yep. But yeah, we'll crash out in this area quite a bit when we're going after pelts and different things, because there's, in some of the later challenges and side missions you do, you're going to be in this area a lot, so it's pretty much, we'll crash right here, and I just always recognize this spot because they always put you right in this area, and you're surrounded by yarrow. There's a lot more yarrow than just what we picked and hate. I think there's like at least 6 or 7 more plants, so that's a very, very common. What is going on here? That's not good. Why is that guy just slumped over his horse? Okay, well, guess we're not going to do anything about it. I'm not going to worry about going and chasing him off. So, here's another part I want to go to real quick. This is an area of the map that you won't discover until, I think it's chapter 3, if you're just going by the story. Now, obviously, we're here, so we're going to do it. And it's kind of a wicked storm rolling in. Looks cool, though, with the clouds and the sun. I like how they get the colors right with the weather. I mean, I know we get a lot of nasty weather where I live, severe thunderstorms, tornadoes. God, that pig scared me. But, whoa, almost ran into him. But when you have an early morning or even afternoon storm, it looks like this. I mean, even the colors, right? They even get a little bit of the yellowish tinge going to it, which is just cool. Getting all the realism. Okay, that's not good. Seeing lightning. I've never been struck by it in this game, but I've seen YouTube videos where people have. I don't know if they were just manipulating the video or something, but it's kind of a irrational fear of mine in this game to get struck by lightning. But the couple videos I have seen, they actually survived it, but I mean, I still don't want to get struck by lightning. But yeah, where we're going, this doesn't open up until Chapter 3 if you're going by the story. This is the town of Saint Denis, so I'm not going to talk too much about it. You can figure some of that out on your own. We'll wait for the descriptions and all that once we actually get to this part of the map as part of the story mode. But the reason I'm here is I want to test something for y'all, of course, but also very much for me. And I think it's available. I'm almost positive it was for me when I came through and did my last playthrough, but we're about to find out. It's not that way. Being that it is the largest city in the game.
Temporary. This'll all be sorted out soon, I promise. Hey.
I don't want to mess with that right now. I do know what that particular random encounter is, and we can actually use that to our advantage later, so we don't want to do it this early in the game. But this is here, so this is what's cool. I had mentioned when we went to Emerald City that we're just going to check something out, Emerald Branch, sorry, when we had dropped off the Chatty Cathy, that I wanted to look for something, and I kind of got just a little bit into the... I am.
Oh, sorry.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Take care.
Talked about the fence,
Shopping, eh?
that's where we have to go to sell stuff.
Good morning.
Well, you see that little, what looks like a satchel or purse or whatever? That is a fence, so that's where we can sell valuables, including one that y'all... Oops, sorry. That's a cool little animation. You go into a place, Arthur can just barge through the door. Didn't mean to do that. But what you can do is come in here and you can either buy items, so we'll take a look at that. What are we willing to buy? Ooh, we can buy dynamite. Only $1. Why not? We'll go ahead and cap it out. We can carry 8 of them. Most of this is locked because you got to get through the game. We can also buy provisions from him. We will go ahead and top off those baked beans. I use those a lot. So there's all sorts of things you can do. A lock breaker. I think you can earn one of these later in the game, so I'm not going to worry about buying that yet because it is 25 bucks. And then just, we can get all sorts of masks and hoods, so that can come later. Now, this is where I was had mentioned previously that you can actually go buy a lot of these pamphlets. They slowly unlock. You aren't just like, oh, you can buy any one in the game right off the bat. No. But again, you see the cost of these, and we've only got 91 bucks now after buying some dynamite. I'm not going to go through and start buying these, especially when they are out in the wild. You just have to know where to look. And again, I'll be dropping the links in the description for where we find those different things. So I'm not going to do that, but that's where you can buy some stuff. You can also attempt to craft. So let's see what he can craft for us. Basically, I guess we can go ahead and get into a little bit of the legendary animals. When you kill a legendary animal, you can actually come here and craft something, as you see. So for instance, if we were to try to get the buck antler trinket. So again, it's my whole right stick thing, so I'm gonna have to get that figured out for you so y'all can see it. But it basically tells you what you need to do it. But those trinkets, they actually give you a boost of some sort. And the reason I went ahead and stopped on that buck is because that's what we're going to be doing after we get done selling all of our stuff here. Is we want to go after that buck trinket. Because I have mentioned when we got attacked by that cougar in the random encounter where you never run into cougars, about the whole perfect, poor, good pelt thing, and that it's luck. And it is 100% luck, but if you have that buck trinket, your odds are increased that they will be better pelts. And I've even seen it firsthand just by playing that. It also seems like there's a lot of times when we target an animal that's a 2-star, if you get it with one shot, it may turn into a 3-star. So that's really useful when we're going after these satchels. And again, I firmly believe in getting the satchels as soon as possible because it just really makes the rest of the game that much more enjoyable. Even though it's not required for 100%, if you're doing all that other work, might as well get the most out of it, and I believe that's certainly the case. But now we're going to go into sell. So we can sell some things here. So we've got a couple cigarette cards I guess we picked up. We've got a gold pendant necklace for $8. I'm not going to sell that. I don't remember if that's needed for crafting. I think it is. And not only that, I think it's one of the rarer ones to get. So I'm not going to worry about it. I am going to go ahead and sell him my coffee. So we can either sell them one at a time. Cool. Or I can just hold down on the Y button, sell all 3 of those at once. Cool. I sell the coffee because I don't really use it a whole lot. Let's see here. We got a platinum engraved buckle. Let's go ahead and sell that bad boy. We're hanging on to the cigarette cards because, again, remember, as far as 100%, we've got to have a complete set of one. There's 12 different sets, each with 12 cards. We've only got to have one of those sets, but I don't want to get rid of them. Ooh, platinum watches, $12 a pop, and we got 2 of them. That's awesome. The bourbon, again, I don't really use it a whole lot, so might as well. Silver, that's $1, but hey, $1's $1. $10 out of gold wedding rings. $30. Yeah, 3 of the gold pocket watches. Got $8 for a silver pocket watch, of which we are maxed out. We are going to keep the snake oil. You see what it does there. It fully restores the dead eye and fortifies it. So we're not getting rid of that. Get rid of that. Get rid of those. This is the pin that Jimmy Brooks gave us. As you can see, we can get $10 for it. There are just going to be a few encounters where you come across stuff like that where it's kind of a special item. I don't like to get rid of them. I don't know why. I just like to keep them in my satchel, so because it's only $10, and some of them will be worth more, but I'd just rather keep them. But we are certainly going to get rid of that bad boy. So now look at our cash. We went from broke to $723. So at any rate, thank you for letting me do business with you. Let's get back out to our horse. We are going to stop and say hi to one person first, just because you might as well, because we're going to be seeing him a lot. He said hi to us, and that is our trapper. I did watch a video of all the actors that played these characters. They were at some gaming con, and they did a panel, and somebody asked a really good question. You know, if you could pick any character in the game, no matter how major, minor, whatever, that you could just talk to, who would it be? And it was unanimous. They all said the trapper. I just thought it's a cool little touch. So we're going to see what we can buy from him.
Hide makes the hardiest clothes around. Don't doubt it.
Okay. So we don't really have anything we can probably make from him right now, because a lot of these are going to require like the legendary animals. And again, we're about to embark on getting one of those ourselves, but it requires stuff like that. Sorry. I'm trying to figure out what that button is. Okay, it's not letting me do it, but you just come in here and it will, this is the entire outfit, but you have to craft all of these things one at a time to have that entire outfit. These are not necessary for the game,
one-of-a-kind garments.
but there are some fun things in here. There are. You can just go through and look at all the different things there are, so not going to worry about that too much. What we're more worried about with him is, first off, we can do saddles. Remember how I told you when we bought our last saddle, we actually had one, but you can come here and normally get a really good saddle. This one tends to be my favorite, the alligator skin, and he can craft it for you. Now, it's still not cheap, but it's cheaper than just going and buying
the
one.
Things I'd do if I had your youth. These days I'm fishing more and tracking less. My old man was right. Sneaks up on you.
So there's all sorts of stuff, but normally what we would be doing here is we'd be selling to him. So any pelts that we get, we sell them to him. So, you know what, we might as well. We've got some game meat. We'll get rid of that. It's a poor rabbit pelt, only 46 cents. Now, all this money is ours. This doesn't go back to the camp. We're going to go ahead and keep the venison. We're certainly keeping the big game meat. The gun oil, we can have a couple on us. We'll show you why that's important here in just a little bit.
Thanks, partner.
But yeah, all the perfect pelts we're pretty much gathering for Pearson right now, mainly because he's the one that does our satchels. However, if we were to go sell those to the trapper instead, well, they're gone, so you got to go get another one that's perfect of whatever it was you got rid of. So watch out, dude. Watch out, watch out, watch out. So we'll be visiting him a lot, though. Nope, not going to do it. Not going to do it. In the city, you're going to see all sorts of random encounters, of course. But yeah, at any rate, we're not going to use him too much until we get our satchels done.
Dang near killed me.
Nah, I didn't. Now we're going to go to this guy. Because I was looking up, because I had some questions about what's different between the Ultimate Edition, the Special, and the regular edition of the games. Again, I found the Ultimate Edition. I just caught Steam at the right time. They had it for like 79 bucks, I think. So I got it basically I got the Ultimate Edition for that price, which is normally the Special. So I went ahead and got it. But I was trying to find if there are certain pamphlets you get by having the Special, the Ultimate over the other two. Couldn't find anything on that, but I did see that apparently we do get a couple guns with it. Yes, we are.
Welcome. Come in.
So that being the case, we're going to go ahead and take advantage of that. If we didn't, this is what we would actually be spending that 725 bucks on. So let's see what we got revolvers wise. Anything free here? Nope, nope, nope. So not too worried. So we're going to go on to, oh, we do get the volcanic pistol. I forgot that was one. Sweet. So we get that.
Excellent choice.
I know it is. I like to style all of my guns in a certain way. But I want more money before we start doing that. Can I get, I guess I'm not to where I can carry 2 yet. I probably am going to go ahead and do that for my carbine though. That's what we have, so I want to go ahead and customize it. So we'll do that in a moment. But did we get any free other guns out of it? Just let me make sure. Because yeah, there were a few, like the varmint. I knew we did get that one, so that's cool. We would like that.
It really suits you.
Because we will be using this a lot, because again, we need the perfect pelts, and varmint rifle gets a lot of your smaller animals, your raccoons, rabbits, and all that. This is what's desirable for those, so that's cool. We're going to have to buy some actual ammo.
Do you have enough ammunition for that thing?
We do. Okay, so let's see what else we got here. Just trying to see if I want to go ahead and fix that one up. Not yet. We'll do that in another one. Any other free guns we have that we can take advantage as part of having that Ultimate Edition? Okay, pump action shotgun. So, yep, that looks pretty wicked.
You made a good decision.
What else we got here? Turn the page. Turn the page. There we go. One thing I think I'm going to go ahead and buy while we're here. They're not cheap, but let's go ahead and get us our arrows capped out too. Remember how we made the poison arrows earlier? I think we started with 22 and we were able to make 5. That's why it dropped down to 17. But we still have, of course, those 8 other ones. You can carry 40 of just the regular. You can carry 8 of the poison and so forth. But these are what I'm looking at. This, as you see, permanently increases capacity for your repeater, rifle, and shotgun by 50%. That's expensive, 70 bucks, but again, increases the capacity, so that's a big deal. We can carry a lot more ammo.
I like it.
This is the same thing. Actually, I take that back. Permanently slows degradation for all weapons by 10%. That's a big deal. We're using that. These other things that I'm buying right now, you can actually go ahead and craft these too, but that is not really, I guess it is crafting, but you have to earn those through those challenges.
Lot of that particular item.
And so we just want to get these because that's going to be much later in the game. So we'll take the hit on money. That's what we've got that gold bar for. Pick and choose where you want to use it. But as you see this one, this also does it for the revolver and pistol by the 50%. So we're going to buy it. We've already got some gun oil, but why not have one more on us? That's actually not something I buy a lot of, and I'll show you here in a moment why. But in the meantime, let us go ahead and...
Let me know if you need anything else.
I will. I do. We're going to customize that carbine because we use that as much as anything. So you can also, while you're here, equip these weapons, what you want. As you see over on the right, do you want to equip that to your shoulder? So basically, if I know that we want the volcanic pistol or the cattleman, I like the volcanic pistol, but it's only got 2 rounds. So I'm going to go ahead and switch that back to the cattleman revolver. So that's now what will be on my hip. I certainly want the carbine repeater to be either my back or shoulder. I don't care which one. So we'll just go with shoulder. Then we got varmint rifle, sawed off, all that. Don't really care about having... what I want is the bow on my back. So we're just going to go ahead and pick the varmint rifle for now. It's no big deal. But that basically, if you jump off your horse, that's what's already on you. But this only stays this way temporarily. You can just go right back up to your horse, switch it out, and that's what it'll be. So it's not like this is some permanent thing where you have to come do this often. But yeah, you know what? Let's go ahead and customize our knife because I don't think that's too expensive. What do we want? Metals. I like that blue steel. This is just the style I like. So we're going to go ahead and do that. I don't know if it said total. Did it charge me? I think it did. I wasn't paying. Yeah, so like $8. That's no big deal. Engravings. I do like the engraving, just kind of looks cool. We'll go with the skulls, like that. Varnish, and then the grip. I like the ebony grip, if that is the right one. Let me make sure. Yep, ebony. I just think that color combo just looks really cool. So that's how I outfit all my guns. It costs a lot of money, so we're not going to do them all. We're just going to take one of our favorite weapons here, and we will
Looks
go ahead.
like you've been taking good care of that gun.
Yeah, I know. It's going to make me clean it before we can do anything else. So that's that gun oil I was kind of talking about. It's good to have it in case you're in a pinch, but you can clean your guns. I'll show you how to do that when you're out and about. But it takes a whole one, and as you see, they cost $1.25 a piece. Whereas you can come here and just clean your weapons. And of course, that price is not a set in stone. If we were to go out, fire, it's not going to be dirty after 2 rounds or anything. But if we go use it for a day or 2 and come back, that may be 7 cents.
We stock some of the finest quality guns in the South.
Shut up. I don't care. But we do stop by here and clean our weapons from time to time. So I do need to go back and make sure we've got everything else. So pretty much it's going to be this and the revolver, the only things that are dirty, of course. But components. On these, you can do...
Would you be interested in me changing some of the parts at all?
Well, actually, yeah. So as you see here, that improves our range. You can see the difference. That range is just barely ticking up. But let's go ahead and do it. We're going to make this as good a weapon as we can. So improved sights, it's $5. Gives us better accuracy.
That'll give you a real edge.
Scope. Might as well. I don't use it a lot on this weapon. So you know what? I'm actually not going to worry about it. In thinking about it, I'll hardly ever use the scope on that. So no reason to waste the money. Stock, you can do a straight grain or a wide grain. That is strictly cosmetic. That does nothing for you. So I don't use it simply because we're going to have it covered up in a wrap anyway. Now we do that wrap because what that does is that actually slows down the weapon degradation even further. So remember, we bought
Very
that...
good chop suey on the street.
I know.
Say I sent you.
No, I'm not. You had the bandolier or whatever, whichever one it was, that actually increased, decreased the degradation. This does it even further.
You'll notice the quality of the workmanship.
So now that we've got all that, I want to go ahead and do my styles. So the metals, again,
I can
I'm
do
going to
some
change
nice
them.
ornate engraving on there.
Does he shut
Good
up?
price.
Good Lord. So I'm going to go ahead and switch these all over to the blue steel because that's just my favorite look. And again, this is all... does nothing for you. This is just how you want it to look. Cosmetic only. Engraving, sometimes I do this later on, but I just don't really care, really, honestly. It's kind of cool, but I just really only like it on the knife, so I'm not going to waste about my money on that. So same thing on the carving. Obviously, we could do one. So you know what, why not? No, never mind. That's $18. But we could get it, but then it's going to be covered by that wrap anyway, so what's the point? Now we can cover or change the leather of that, the color of the leather. I like on this one chocolate. And then of course we can finally do our varnish, and that we're going to go for ebony. And I just like how that looks. It's just kind of cool. So that's how I'm going to be styling all of my weapons. The wraps are ebony. The varnish is,
Just ask if
varnish
you need
is
anything.
ebony. I'm going to shoot this man. I promise you. Only problem is they do that in every gun store. They just talk over and over and over and over. It gets obnoxious. But yeah, so I do the blue steel for the metal. I do the wrap is, so the leather is in chocolate, and then the varnish is in ebony. So, pretty cool. So we do want to go ahead and make sure we get these clean. That's pretty dirty.
Would you consider some of our gun improvements?
Nope, not with you. Actually, you know
Glad
what?
to see
I'll
you
take that
taking
back.
care of it.
We are
So
going to,
many
since
people
we
don't.
use this rifle so much.
I can see you look after your firearm.
Grip does
I
nothing
have some
for you.
better quality components if you're looking
Dude,
for the
shut
best.
up. Good Lord. You can do this, but again, those are cosmetic. The barrel obviously is going to help you. The length, there goes some more
You got no regrets with
accuracy.
that decision.
Or, excuse me, that's more range. The rifling should improve our well, it was vice versa. So rifling does our range. The length does our accuracy. So cool. Actually, that is right in real life. So improve sights. That'll
You will
improve
feel
our
the difference
accuracy.
right away.
So cool. So we'll go ahead and do that. So none of these others have we even used. Hunting knife doesn't require cleaning. Don't say a word to me or I will shoot you.
Hey,
You guys got me rattled. So yeah, at any rate, stop by and clean your guns from time to time, because otherwise you just got to do it manually. And I'll show you how to do that at some point in the future. But what we're going to do is head on out to an area that I want to get to. Let me find it on the map. It was something I'd been thinking about. Did it show up or not on the map yet? I don't think it has, which is no big deal. But remember, Hosea gave us that map, and that map actually will show us where the legendary animals are. And again, that's how we're going to finish off this episode. We aren't even going to actually do a mission. We're going to go after that buck, the legendary white buck. I will eventually drop again a link in the description where that is. But we're going to do that simply because that's what's going to help us get better pelts. And since that's what we're focusing on, getting those satchels, it's so much quicker having that. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and head out that way. Let me just set me up a waypoint. I'm trying to remember exactly where it is. We don't need to go that far north. It's way on over here. So we're just going to throw a waypoint down right about there. And we're going to see what happens. And I'll see you out there. I'm sure I'm going to have a few random encounters. If I have anything crazy, we'll come back and show you. But I'm just going to edit this out, so I will catch up to you when we are out there. All right, everybody. Welcome back. So, had a long little ride there. A good 15 minutes or so, but we are now into Strawberry. As you can see, we did have to switch into our winter clothes. It's a little bit chillier when we get out this far west. So, we are here. So, did notice, thinking about it, this is another thing I'll show you real quick. This is a butcher. Now, from time to time, we can also sell pelts to him. So he'll take anything, so we can sell some random items. Again, I want to keep everything I've got. I'll go ahead and sell that salted beef. Why not? Not really going to use it.
Out there hunting again.
Cool. You can also buy stuff from him, like normal baked beans, stuff like that. But you can also get, actually, no, you can't, but you can get these. Some better meats, and these will do a lot for your health. They're normally going to fill you all the way up, even if you're so short. Man, that dude's got a killer stash. Okay, so anyway, I just want to show you the butcher. I don't really use him much, but
Thank you for your help.
just in case I'm trying to offload some poor pelts or something, although there might be something I do, because I hope I can trigger him to say something that happened in my last playthrough that was just absolutely hilarious. So we may actually mess with him. If it doesn't happen, then I'll just ruin it. But at any rate, we are now in the town of Strawberry. Now, one thing I need to do is, I'm not going to stop right in the middle of the road because people will just start yelling at me.
He comes to pass through the eye of a camel.
Don't want to play with you right now.
No mistake.
So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and stop right here, whip out our satchel, and we are going to go to our documents because Hosea gave us that map, and I had looked on the map and you can't actually see the legendary animals, so I think we have to open it and now they'll be revealed. So we'll go ahead and flip her on over. Okay, cool. So maybe it doesn't, you just have to kind of look here, so who knows, no big deal. But we'll open up our map. It should be somewhere right over in here, I would imagine. One thing I did, just because I think it's going to make it so much easier for me showing you everything. See how we have the map all of a sudden? I went ahead and installed that trainer just to test it and see. And it does actually, you have an option to reveal the map. So I don't think that's spoiling too much. You know what it is. We were going to uncover it anyway. So I went ahead and did that so we can actually navigate a lot easier, especially since we're doing all this stuff right out the get-go. So, well, the legendary deer is not there. So I'm guessing what's going on is we probably have to go get the legendary bear before we can ever get it. That's just going to be my guess. So that being said, we're just going to go ahead and get back up to that area once more. And we will see you in just a bit to go after it. One thing I did want to mention, you have your stagecoaches. We haven't used any of those yet. We're going to use that mostly to get around. We're not going to cheat and teleport. I did test the teleport on this, and it works really well. I'll do it real quick just so you can see it. It's actually kind of cool. So we're right there. You can, we'll just teleport. Let's get just back near home. Just teleport right outside Valentine. How about that? Right there. So you can just lay down a waypoint and hit with that simple trainer F11, and it pops you in. And you are okay to do it in your horse. The very first time I tried it, I was like, I'm going to kill my horse, aren't I? So it does put you there on the map. So that's pretty cool. If we do want to use that to get around, we can. But that's not really my plan. Like I said, I'm still debating how much I want to use that feature. But if, again, we're up here searching for stuff and we know we need to go way down here for the next, it would save everybody a lot of time. So, but you also avoid those random encounters, and we do want to get those because that's a fun part of the game, and it's required for 100%. So we're not going to try to use that a whole lot, but I just wanted you to see it and kind of check it out. And I'll probably just mess around with the rest of the stuff in the trainer at some point, but it just looks like mostly your standard. You can, like any trainer, you can take the wanted off, or you can make yourself invincible, stuff like that, and we're certainly not going to do that. We're playing this legit. So I did want to go ahead, even though it's not legit, to go ahead and uncover the map simply so we can see where we're going. But what I was getting at is you have the stagecoach, and then you also have trains. The trains aren't marked on the map, only the stagecoach is, but anywhere there's a post office, generally there's going to be a train. Now, I say that generally because there is a post office here in Strawberry. They don't actually have a train. The train doesn't run out here, so you can only get there by stagecoach. You cannot go, for instance, we've now been to Strawberry, but when you were watching that first half of the video before I took a break and came in here and loaded everything up and tested it, we wouldn't be able to have traveled to Strawberry via stagecoach. Even if we came over here to Emerald Ranch where we've been, we couldn't take it because we hadn't been to Strawberry yet. Now that we've been there, you can. So if you're ever just playing it and you don't have anything quick to get around and you want to try to get to Strawberry real quick, well, until you've been to the town, it's just not going to show up on your list. So if that's what's happened, well, that's the explanation. So now that we've done that, instead of actually continuing on, I'm going to probably just go ahead and call this quits tonight. It's getting kind of late where I am, and I think this episode's getting a little bit longer and didn't get a whole lot done, just a lot of explanation, but we did get that weapon complete. Now and then we did go to the fence. We got some guns, so this is just, again, kind of a house cleaning episode, so you can kind of catch up and see some of the cool things that we're going to have to be using over time as we go through this playthrough. So I'm going to go ahead and call it quits there, and then when we get back in the next episode, I think we're going to go up to, I know he said it was somewhere around O'Creagh's Run. We're going to come up here and try to get that legendary bear again. I think we have to get that before we can trigger any other legendary animals, because they will show up on our map once we've actually at one point got it. We don't just have to look at the handheld copy that Hosea got us. So we're going to go ahead and get that in our next episode, and then we will probably try to immediately come back and then get that legendary deer. Again, we need that perk. I've already explained it, so we'll go through and do that. So in the meantime, thank you everybody for watching. We will obviously do our important thing, save the game, because well, I didn't really do anything. I loaded the game, or quit for a little bit to eat dinner, and then reloaded it, and didn't run across anything because I was playing with that teleport. And well, I did actually ride out here first before I did it. I wanted to uncover the map, and I thought, you know what, I bet it has a feature like that. So, you know what, we'll go ahead and do it. I'll just go ahead and show you the trainer, what's in it. So I guess what you can do here is you can do, I haven't really played with it. Yeah, we're not going to do any of this. That's just cheating. I already feel like I'm cheating just by having tested the teleport. But again, we don't plan on using that very often. But it will save us. But you can change your honor, you can give money, you can do all sorts of things. So it is PC. There's mods to it. I guess you can get all sorts of weapons, including modifiers. That again just seems like so cheating. You can have bodyguards. Isn't that cool? We're certainly gonna have to get in here and just have some fun episodes. You can just start spawning horses. Oh, you can make them invincible. Isn't that neat? How you doing, friend? I'm doing good. How are you, sir? Peds. There's all sorts of stuff. Okay. So yeah, we'll certainly do some episodes. Vehicles. I gotta see. Okay, just wagons. I was gonna say, what, you gonna put in a freaking banshee or something? That'd be cool. So we'll certainly get in here and play with these in another episode, just kind of a fun one. But in the meantime, yeah, I did find, if you go to World, you could do the reveal map, and that's what I did. So, disable new Austins. Okay, well, we'll talk about that another time, because I think I know what they're talking about. So, yeah, that's at least that part of it. So now we're going to call it quits. And then when we come back in the next episode, our goal is to see if we can unlock the legendary animals. I'm taking a guess here. I'm just stabbing at it that I think we have to get the legendary grizzly before we can see any others. Hopefully that's the case, because we really want that buck one, which is why we drove our happy butts all the way out here again before. I thought just do the trainer and see how it works. So we're going to call it quits. Y'all have a wonderful evening, and we will see you soon. Thank you.